Hey everybody, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good whatever time you're watching this. For those of you who are new here, my name is Jord, and for those of you who know me, welcome back. I appreciate you and I love you. Guys, this is really strange. Like, I've wanted to have a chat by myself for quite a while, but part of me was like, oh my god, am I going to be able to talk non-stop for a good hour or so? Like, what if I run out of things to say? I think usually when I have someone to bounce off, I'm like, okay, cool, we'll talk about this and that. And I thought, do you know what? 2024 is the year for where I'm very much like, let's try it. It may not go the way I want it to go, but I can say I made an attempt. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes there are things that I want to talk about which aren't necessarily, because I cannot force my guests to do research. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't force them to get on board with certain topics. And why should I if they're not interested? It's not fair. But there are times where I find there are things that I'm really interested in and things that I'm really interested in, but because who's sat at the other side, because of who's sat at the other side of the table doesn't necessarily have the exact kind of same knowledge or passion or interest as me, it doesn't always work. So I thought, you know what, let me try and do something fresh. Let me try and do this and see how it goes, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, so I hope you're all well. Hope you're all keeping safe, hydrated, looking after yourself and everything good in between. Guys, you know what? I've had a really interesting week and a half. So it's Sunday here in London, in West London. I think if we work on magic, this will be out Tuesday. That's what I'm aiming for. If not, I'll see you on Thursday. But yeah, no, it's been a really interesting week. So I turned 25 last week. Yeah, No, I didn't turn the week. Wait, oh my god, hang on. 2 weeks ago I turned 25. Bit of a milestone, low key, quarter, midlife crisis and all of that jazz. And so me and my lot went to Brighton. And do you know what? Yeah, I've always said to myself, the UK has bad vibes. But do you know what it is? I don't think it's the UK. I think it's parts of the UK, because people in Brighton, yeah, they have completely changed my perception of UK people. Everyone there is so friendly, so jolly. Honestly, Brighton is the place to be. If you haven't been to Brighton, you need to get yourself on a train there, ASAP Rocky, because it's so fun. When you just feel refreshed and just really not wholesome, but you just feel proper good. That's how I feel when I'm in Brighton. But I feel because it's a bit because someone said to me, they were like, oh, would you ever want to live in Brighton? But I think because when you kind of I see Brighton a bit like a Disneyland. So you kind of glamorize it, really rate it, but you wouldn't want to live there 365 days of the year. Do you know what I mean? But regardless, I had a great time. It was actually quite funny. So if my friends are watching this, you might want to skip. So me and my lot, we got an Airbnb dead on in Brighton Centre, lovely place, really nice for 2 nights, and we were leaving to go to a bar or a club or something. I want to say a bar, and my best friend Callum supposedly had the keys, and someone said to me, "Do you have the keys?" No, that's a lie. Someone said to me, "Oh, lock the back door." But my friend meant lock the back door and take those keys out of the back door because it was for the whole apartment. Obviously, I didn't know that, so I just left it in the back door. This is something to 8, something to 9. We come back at about something to 4, 3:30, something to 4. And everyone's like, oh, Jordan, have you got the keys? And obviously, I haven't got the keys yet. I'm like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. So obviously the keys are in the flat, aren't they? And it's 3 a.m, so no one's going to answer. There's a second padlock on the Airbnb where we're assuming it's for the cleaner or something. But we've got not a Scooby. All of my friends are low-key angry at me, but they don't want to admit it. And yeah, we ended up going to the 24/7 McDonald's, and honestly, I've never seen so much. I've never seen or been through so much chaos. When you're that tired that you're kind of hallucinating and you're in stupid hysterics. Yeah, that was me and my lot. But we live to tell the tale. But I want to say to you lot, yeah, I think, and anyone who goes to Brighton, because I'm like, where I'm from in my like smallish area, you don't really go to a club, like a nightclub, a club over the age of like 19. You feel a bit, too old. You feel like a bit of a gramp. But obviously that's not really the case in cities. So me and my lot went to a gay club in Brighton. It was called Revenge. Great. So it had like a mix of like 2010 pops, like 80s, 70s pop, and like soundtrack music. It was very gay, very camp, bit of me. Yeah, no, so if you lot are ever in Brighton, go to Revenge. I cannot recommend it more. It's so good. So good. But I want to talk to you a lot about something. I want to get your takes. And obviously this is a friendly space. So feel free to like talk to me and I can talk to you and like give your takes and whatnot. But do you know what it is, right? I have like this like thing about when I'm in a gay club and like trying to like talk to guys and all that, right? So it's difficult because obviously like I get people go to support their mates, and obviously a lot of my friends are straight and they did the same thing. So maybe this makes me a hypocrite, but like in a way I just kind of think like as a straight man, why are you going to the gay club? Like honestly, like I love an ally. I appreciate your community service, but in this space where it's so difficult on a day-to-day to figure out if someone's queer or not, I don't want to have to then go into my own somewhat smaller space to then still be playing Guess Who and trying to figure out whether someone's gay or not. Do you know what I mean? Obviously that's a bit hypocritical because two of my best friends came to this club with me and they're straight, but it's very much, I don't know, it's just very much like, I don't know how to word it, but you kind of think, oh, okay, this is where I can be, and like everyone is on my level, everyone's on my wavelength. So it's not like, because obviously you have it where like, and obviously I have a lot of friends who are straight but flamboyant, right? Which is pretty normal. But obviously like people being people will assume if someone's a bit flamboyant or a bit feminine, they're queer in some capacity. But obviously me being me for okay, if I'm in a gay club, surely, but no, it's not the case. It's not the case, child. It's not the case. But no, like going to like, I think this is probably the first gay club where I've actually really, really enjoyed it. Like I've been to GAY in London and that's okay. Like I don't love it, I don't hate it, it's all right. Been to, what's the one in Birmingham called? Nightingales? That's pretty cool, but it's like, all right, but like Revenge is like top tier. I love it. I love the people. I love the energy. It's very expensive, but like you can kind of put it aside when you're having a good time. Do you know what I mean? But you lot, I recommend Revenge. Really interesting, actually. So I actually got talking to a really nice guy in the smoking area. I think he was gay. He was gay. He wasn't a bit of me, but he was really nice. He was really cool. We got on really well. And you lot know me. For those of you who know me, you know me. I'm really intrigued about the conversation about like types and like what everyone's into and whatnot. And I said to this guy, I was, we're in a gay club. Like, tell me, what's your type, man? Maybe we can like suss him out and try and find him. And the guy kind of like giggles a little bit. He was cute. He was like a little twink. He was nice. I liked him. He was cool. Big up him. And he basically said to me, he was, like I only go for straight men. And like, you know, like when like the alcohol's alcoholing and you think you may have hit a different level of wave. So you're like, your hearing sensor has kind of like been like displaced. I thought, nah, I can't, like, surely not. So I said to him, oh, yo, say that again. What did you say? Sorry. And he was like, yeah, I only go for straight men. I was like, right, okay. And the thing is with me, I have quite like exaggerated, dramatic like facial expressions. So like when I don't agree with something, I can't hide it. So I'm just like, right, okay. But I feel like that there's such an issue in the community with like guys wanting to go for straight men. And this is the thing, like I think if you are a queer person actively going for straight men, you have some kind of self-hate. And when I say straight men, I mean like hetero straight men, like Santan Dave hetero straight men, not like bi-curious or straight passing or masculine. That is not the same. I mean actual fully straight men. Like, I feel like realistically, like, I'm not going to lie, I think if you as a queer person are actively looking to try and get with someone who is quite clearly straight, then you have some insecurities. You must hate yourself a little bit, because there is no other logical reason as to why you do it. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, and it's not like you're ever going to get a long-term relationship out of it, or like any like companionship. It just, I don't know, like when the boy was telling me, I just thought, when you're just baffled, I thought this just isn't making sense. I just don't get it. Me, I love a femme. I mean, I like a mask as well. Don't be dumb. Don't be twisted. Yeah. Sorry, I'm fit. Do you know? Believe it, I haven't even drunk today. I think it's because I kind of have like a lot of adrenaline about this single episode, so I was a bit like, ooh. But yeah, no, it doesn't make sense to me, because I can appreciate why you would want a man who's masculine, like that makes, but knowing a man who is in touch with their queer self, or is aware of their queer self and is masculine, that makes sense. And even being straight passing to a sense, I don't like the guys that go on about being straight passing, but if you are straight passing, okay, fair enough. But for you to actually want to be with a guy who is straight, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, no, big up Brighton. I had a great time. I can't wait to go back. And yeah. Okay, guys. So I want to talk about the Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl happened last week. Yeah. Last week, headlined by Usher. Do you know what? Usher, yeah. Can I just say, that man is just so fine. Like, when someone is just like so nice to look at. I remember watching it on my screen and I thought, geez, this man's beautiful. And I actually think Usher gets better with age. I just thought, yo, you're a piece of me, But yeah, Usher, the performance wasn't bad. The performance wasn't bad. I did not enjoy the performance. I think it was like everything in between. Like, the set list had a good set of songs. It wasn't very chronological. That it was a bit random. The transitions weren't very smooth. I think the set itself was a bit weird, but like the performance ability, the vocals, top tier. Usher has an incredible voice, a wicked voice, and he can dance. He can really, really dance. I don't think we can or we should fault Usher for that like department, because he killed it. And I love me a bit of Usher. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm not one for dating like men like 20 years older, but Usher, are you dumb? Come on. But no, I think Usher is a very highly respected person in the R&B space. He has been in this game for longer than I've been born. Yeah, longer than I've been born. He is incredibly talented. He has a good discography. Like, I think it was his time. I think it was Usher's time to definitely headline. Yeah, no. And he's had an incredible career. And I think I believe he's just announced a tour. I don't think he's announced the UK though. I don't know if I'd pay to see Usher, to be honest, but I do love his music. It's got very like nostalgic old school. My parents used to really love Usher, so they'd play him quite a lot to me when I was a kid. But no, I love Usher. I think also like a lot of the guests were quite cool. Like, I really enjoyed will.i.am's feature. I know that song's a bit basic, OMG, but I'm not gonna lie, I like it. And I think I really enjoyed him having Ludacris and, oh my god, what is the other guy's name? Ludacris and Lil Jon. I thought that was quite nice, because that's probably Usher's biggest song, or it's the one that I hear the most anyway. And do you know what? Can we talk about, guys, let's talk about the stuff that's been going on with Usher and Alicia Keys. Okay, so to start, I find it so interesting. Do you know, obviously, and it's difficult because as a creator, a lot of the stuff that we do is focused on critiquing certain things. But one thing that I always find really weird, what people do, especially people that don't have talent, one thing I find really weird is watching and seeing other people criticize people's voices. No, one thing, let me rephrase that. One thing that I find really weird and doesn't really make sense to me is when I see people critiquing people's performances on stage. Because in my head, I think half of you can't even do karaoke without it being out of tune. Yet you're going to go and bark online about someone who had a few keys out of sync. Because there was obviously, and to be honest, I was that immune to it. I didn't even think it was that bad. Obviously, my sister Alicia Keys had a few keys which were off key, but majority of the performance, she smashed it. Alicia Keys is incredibly talented. Like I absolutely love Alicia Keys. I think she is one of the best R&B stars the world has. Not even country, but the world has. You know. Yeah, and I just find it really weird how people are, oh, Alicia Keys is off key. I'm like, but you lot can't even do karaoke without it being out of pitch, to the point that it's that bad that people are booing you off stage. Do you know what I mean? And you lot are trying to come for Alicia Keys. And the other thing that I thought was really interesting was where everyone was kind of like dissing their performance of My Boo when they're getting a bit close up. But you have to remember, guys, like, let's be honest, Alicia Keys and Usher are friends. They've been friends for a very long time, like to the point that Usher's even friends with Alicia's husband, with Swizz Beatz, the producer. Do you know what I mean? And like, this is a performance. It would have been scheduled, it would have been rehearsed, they would have known what they were doing, and it's part of the act. They're performers. You have to remember, like, it's part of the entertainment aspect. Like, they are performers. And I find it really weird how people have been so vocal, oh, Alicia's got a husband, Usher's got a wife. But guys, it's part of the act. It's like a music video, isn't it? It's literally like a music video. In a music video, people act out all the time with love interests, etc. Why is the performance any different? It's not. It's literally not. You lot need to grow one. But no, I think Usher's performance isn't the best one I've seen. I think it was like mediocre. It's not the worst, it's not the best. I think in my memory, the best Super Bowl performance which I can think of off the top of my head is, do you know what, right? And as someone who like loves Beyonce, I would say Lady Gaga. I really, really loved Lady Gaga's performance. I think, yeah, I would say Lady Gaga. I really, really love Lady Gaga's performance. I think Lady Gaga she's one of those people, right? I think because some people don't really appreciate pop the way they should or could, because I think because pop's so mainstream, people seem to sometimes ignore that pop is talent. Like, pop is like pure talent, you know? But because it's mainstream, people who don't really engage in mainstream music try to neglect that, which is what it is. I'm not here to argue with people. I'm just here to give my opinions. But yeah, I would say Lady Gaga. But obviously there's been a lot of conversation over the last week or so about who will headline Super Bowl 2025. And I'm a bit lost. I don't really know who will. I feel like obviously my favorite singer is Ariana Grande. I don't think Ariana is there yet. I think, and I don't mean that in the sense that like she hasn't released enough music. She's got enough music to do a Super Bowl performance, but I just don't think she's in that legendary status where she has been in this industry. I think you should be in the industry for around 15-ish years, I would say, until you meet the criteria to headline Super Bowl. You know, that's just my opinion personally. But like, obviously, I know Ariana will headline eventually, and I know she'll smash it. There's been a lot of talk that it'll be Miley Cyrus, which I could kind of see. But I don't put. Thing is though, and I love Miley, but I don't put Miley at the same level as I put like Beyonce, Katy Perry, Taylor Swift, Madonna. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Ariana, I do. But I think, who do I think is going to headline 2025 Super Bowl. I think it'll be between Taylor Swift, and I'm not a Swiftie. I'm actually not a Swiftie. I like about 2 songs, but I can respect her graft. So I reckon it'll be between Taylor Swift or Taylor Swift or Jay-Z. Taylor Swift or Jay-Z, I'm like, my money's on. Maybe Ed Sheeran? Has Ed Sheeran headlined? No, he hasn't. Wait. Someone fact check. Hang on, let me just double check. Has Ed Sheeran? Ed Sheeran would make sense. Ed Sheeran would make a lot of sense. Ed Sheeran, Coachella. Okay, no, not properly. Maybe Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran would make a lot. Yeah, okay. I think. Okay, either Ed Sheeran, Taylor Swift, or Jay-Z. But I think it would make sense for Taylor Swift because of all the re-releases she's doing currently, and like she's interesting because Taylor Swift, she's been in this industry for so long, but she's still at the very top, and I respect that. Even if you don't like Taylor Swift, you can't not respect what she's achieved. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, let's go with Taylor Swift. But if I could pick, it would be Jay-Z. But Taylor Swift makes sense to me. Yeah. Okay, right. So moving on, guys. Do you know what? I feel like this conversation is just going to be, just me talking about the things I've been listening to and engaging in this week. Okay, but obviously, for those of you who watch Coachella, not Coachella, what am I talking about? For those of you who watched the Super Bowl, during the adverts, there was an advert for Beyonce. I can't even remember what the advert was. I cannot actually remember what the advert was, to be honest. But I remember B saying at the end, "Oh, they're ready for the music, drop the music or something." And I was like, "Oh, okay, interesting." So Beyonce has now dropped 2 new songs. I think this is I believe this is the second part of the Renaissance. So 2 songs, Texas Hold'em, and what's the other one called? And 16 Carriages. So Beyonce made it very clear when she was going to make this 3-part project, she wanted to take back the power and focus on genres which were once created and dominated by Black people, which I love. So obviously with Renaissance, she did house. With this new album coming out in a few weeks, it's country, and then after it's rock. Do you know what? So like, I love Beyonce so much. I love her so much. I thought her music is very much grower music. Like, her music isn't the type of music where you love it initially, I found anyway. And this is someone who I've loved. Beyonce's probably the person, other than Rihanna, Beyonce's probably the artist that I've followed musically for the longest. Do you know what I mean? So it's not even me being like, because you know how some people don't like artists, so they'll be like, oh, they say they did or said such and such. It's not like that. I really love Beyonce's music. I really, really love Beyonce's music, but it was a miss for me. I'm not gonna lie. It was a miss. Like, I don't know. It just, you know, like when you want to like something, because the thing is, I don't like country music. I actually don't like country music. But like in my head, I kind of thought, I love Beyonce. I absolutely adore her. So maybe I'll like shift and I'll think differently when I listen to the tune. But it was a miss for me, to be honest. I just didn't rate it. But her music is a grower, because I didn't like Break My Soul when it started. Now I love that song. I really respect Beyonce's versatility. I really respect her ongoing urge and eagerness to try new things and to try fresh ideas. I think a lot of artists are very good at staying in their lane, which is completely fair. Like, people have a comfort zone. Do you know what I mean? And I get it. Like, if you're making money and you're successful and you're happy, and if you're happy, that's the main thing. Who are we to judge and critique? But you have to give Beyonce her flowers, because even if you don't, and it's really interesting because most people actually really like this new song. I don't personally, but I'm going to try really hard to get into this album because I respect Beyonce's vision, and I respect her ongoing craft and her dedication to our community. Do you know what I mean? How many artists in this, well, probably now, to be fair, for the wrong purposes, but how many artists in this current time period are making a body of work dedicated to black queer people when you're not a black queer person yourself, and doing it in a way where you don't take that power or exploit it? You know what I mean? You know where like people like kind of like take on the culture but like take it away from who it's centered around. Beyonce's not doing that. She's making this to then promote those who are in that community. But no, the song just wasn't it. The song just wasn't it. But like I'm going to pray. I am going to pray, and I am going to hope that eventually something just clicks. But yeah, big up Beyonce. That's my sister. That's my mummy. I love her. Guys, I think this is going to be a lot. I think it's because I've been talking really quickly. This is going to be a lot shorter than I thought, but I'm going to keep on making content for a good 20 minutes just for the gram. Yeah, okay. All right, so my good sister, my favorite singer ever, Miss Ariana Grande, released a remix of her song on Friday. Yes, and I love the song. I just think it's fun. I think it's camp. I think it's great. I love it, and I love Ariana. Ariana is probably the only artist who I've like loved and watched growth since the debut of her career. I feel so like protective of Ariana. Honestly, I love her with everything inside me. Her music has really resonated with me and really been like my safety blanket for like a really long time. It's really refreshing because I always saw the talent in her, and it's just for her to now be one of the biggest stars in the world is just wonderful. I just love my sister Ariana. However, just because I love my sister Ariana, it doesn't mean that I love everything that she makes. So, Miss Ariana Grande released a remix of her number one song, Yes and, by Mariah Carey. Obviously, not so much now, but at the beginning of Ariana's career, she was always compared to Mariah. She was always compared because they both have that ability to like have a really high pitch and reach certain tones which most artists wouldn't even attempt. So I think a lot of the girls were very intrigued and very eager to hear this new sound when it was announced that Mariah was going to hop on this remix. And honestly, anybody who says that they like this song is lying. And do you know what it sounds like, right? Honestly, it sounds like their voices are trapped. Like Mariah Carey, I'm sorry, she sounds like AI. It doesn't even sound like her. And I think Ariana's voice in the remix has actually gotten worse. Like, it's really weird. Like, it's almost, there are some points where I think like sis is struggling to breathe. Like, it just didn't, I don't know, it just felt really flat and really unsatisfying. But majority of things that I've seen online have said the same thing. And also, like, I'm not being funny, it does not make you less of an Ariana Grande fan if you do not like all of her music, okay? I keep even seeing that online, you don't like Ariana if you don't agree with all her music. That's not true. I love Ariana. Ariana is my favorite singer. She has been since I was like 14. But this remix wasn't it, and that's okay. Ariana is incredibly talented, and she has worked so hard to get what she's achieved. I know Eternal Sunshine is going to be like genre shifting, like groundbreaking. And there's no doubt in my mind about that. I am so aware, and we all are so aware of Ariana's capability. I think Ariana is one of those singers where, again, even if you don't like her, you have to respect her craft. You have to respect her artistry, her journey, her the way in which her storytelling. Do you know what I mean? She's very clever. She is so clever. This is an Ariana Grande stan account, so if you don't like it, you need to leave. But yeah, no, the Yes and remix, it was a miss from me. I can't lie, it was a miss from me, and I love Ariana. Like that is my sister, that's my girl. But yeah, I think. And someone said something on Twitter, and they were very much like, out of all the songs that Ariana has, this is one of the worst that she could have picked. And I don't think that's true, to be honest. I think this song could have worked very well if it sounded better. I think the attempt was promising and a bit misleading, to be honest, because it's not what I wanted or what most people wanted. But I don't think the song's the problem. Let me leave it at that. I want to interview Ariana Grande one day, so let me leave it at that. But no, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoy talking about music. Like, music is like a passion of mine, and I feel like I might start doing things like this a bit more on my channel. I find it, it's a part of me. I love talking about music. I love the conversation. I feel like I've only scratched the surface, but I gave myself a low time slot today because I didn't think I'd be talking for this long. But yeah, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I hope this was better than what you expected or what you... Yeah, I hope this was all right. To be fair. Let me know your thoughts. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And also a 5-star rating on Spotify. My name is Jord Howard. This is the Winning Side podcast with a solo episode flavour. Yeah, and I will see you lot very soon on my own or with a guest. Who knows? All right, I'll see you lot in a bit.